Welcome to English Ascent Daily. Your education does not finish when a class ends. It does not stay inside a school, and it does not belong only to people with degrees. Your education continues whenever you choose to understand something, remember it, and use it in your life. Many people spend years studying, but after their final exam, they slowly stop learning. They go to work, follow the same routine, watch random things on their phone, and wait for life to teach them by accident. But the world does not wait. Jobs change, technology changes, communication changes, new problems appear, and new opportunities appear with them. If your mind stays in the same place, even a changing world can begin to feel frightening. But when you educate yourself every day, change becomes easier to face. You become more curious. You notice better choices. You understand your mistakes earlier. You can learn a useful skill without waiting for a teacher to give you permission. And if you are learning English, daily self-education gives you two kinds of growth at the same time. You learn something valuable, and you train your English while learning it. English is not only a subject in a book, it can become a tool that helps you enter new ideas, new conversations, and new parts of the world. Still, self-education does not mean opening 15 books and studying until your eyes ask for a holiday. It does not mean watching 6 hours of advice and using none of it. Real daily learning can be small. It may begin with one clear goal, one short lesson, one honest question, or 5 minutes of practice. The important thing is not how intelligent you look while learning. The important thing is what your mind can remember, explain, and use when the screen is closed. So do not wait until you have perfect time, perfect English, or a perfect plan. Begin with the time you have. Use the English you have. Let your learning be a little imperfect because you are a real person, not a machine. In this video, you will learn 9 simple ways to educate yourself every day while improving your English. These habits will help you choose better information, keep it in your memory, express it in your own words, and turn it into useful action. Let us begin with the first lesson. Lesson 1. Choose one clear learning direction. A person can consume useful information all day and still make very little progress. This happens when every piece of information points in a different direction. On Monday, you watch a video about confidence. On Tuesday, you study 10 business words. On Wednesday, you begin a lesson about history. On Thursday, you suddenly decide that you should learn video editing. By Friday, your mind has visited many places, but it has not built a home anywhere. Random learning can feel productive because you are always busy, but being busy and becoming better are not always the same thing. Before you begin a new week or a new month, choose one clear direction. Do not only say, I want to improve my English. That goal is too wide. Improve which part? Do you want to understand podcasts more easily? Do you want to speak about your work? Do you want to explain your opinions without stopping after every sentence? Do you want to write clearer messages? A clear goal gives your attention somewhere to go. You can say, for the next 30 days, I will practice explaining my daily life in English. Or, this month, I will learn how to understand and use common words about money. Then ask 3 simple questions. What do I want to learn? Why is it useful for me? What small result will show that I improved? Maybe your result is a 2-minute voice recording. Maybe it is understanding one short podcast without reading every line. Maybe it is writing a paragraph with fewer pauses. Keep the results simple and visible. You do not need 10 goals. One clear direction is enough for now. This does not mean you can never enjoy another topic. Of course you can. Curiosity is good, but your main practice should have a home. When a new video appears, ask, does this help my current direction, or is it only pulling my attention away? Sometimes the answer will be uncomfortable. The video may look very interesting. The thumbnail may almost beg you to click, but your future will not be built by every interesting thing. It will be built by the useful things you return to. A clear direction will not make you an expert tomorrow. It will simply stop your energy from being divided into too many small pieces. And when your energy moves in one direction for enough time, progress becomes easier to see. So choose one direction before you collect another lesson. A learner with a simple destination often moves further than a learner who keeps changing roads. Lesson 2, break a large subject into small parts. Many people leave learning because they look at the whole subject at once. They say, English is too big. There are thousands of words. Grammar has so many rules. Native speakers talk too fast. How can I learn all of this? When you ask your mind to carry an entire language in one day, of course it feels heavy. The same thing happens with money, communication, history, health, or any useful skill. A large subject is not impossible. It is only made of many smaller parts. Your job is not to finish the whole subject today. Your job is to choose the next part that you can understand and practice. If your goal is speaking English, do not begin with, I must speak perfectly. Begin with one small situation. Today, describe your morning. Tomorrow, explain what you did yesterday. The next day, give your opinion about a movie. After that, practice asking someone 2 follow-up questions. Each activity is small, but each one trains a real part of speaking. If you are learning about money, begin with understanding where your money goes. Do not jump from saving to investing to taxes to business in the same evening. If you are learning video editing, first learn how to make clean cuts. Then learn how to add readable text. Later learn sound, color, and movement. Step by step is not a weak method. It is how difficult things become possible. At the beginning of each learning session, finish this sentence. In the next 15 minutes, I want to understand. Then add one small target. Maybe you want to understand 3 uses of a word. Maybe you want to learn how to introduce yourself at a job interview. Maybe you want to explain one idea from a book. When the session ends, check that target instead of judging your whole future. Did you understand this small part? Can you use it once? Good. Then you move forward. Some days the part will still feel confusing. That is okay. Make it smaller again. A 10-minute task can become a 5-minute task. A long paragraph can become 3 sentences. A difficult podcast can become 1 minute of audio. You are not escaping the challenge. You are giving yourself a door that you can actually enter. Small lessons also protect your confidence. They show you a result before your motivation becomes tired. And many small results begin to form a strong foundation. You do not build a language with one heroic study day. You build it with clear pieces that slowly begin to connect. Lesson 3, close the lesson and test your memory. Reading something again can make it look familiar. Watching the same video again can make every sentence feel easy. But familiarity is not always learning. Sometimes the page knows the answer, the teacher knows the answer, and your notebook looks very intelligent, but your own mind is still waiting. To discover what you really learned, remove the help for a moment. Read a short section, listen to a small piece of audio, or study a few new words. Then close the book, pause the video, and look away from your notes. Ask yourself, what can I remember without looking? Try to say 3 important points. Do not worry about using the exact words from the lesson. Use your own simple English. If you watched a short video about sleep, explain why sleep matters and name one habit that can improve it. If you listen to a conversation, retell what the speakers wanted and how they solved the problem. If you learned 5 words, cover their meanings and try to use each word in a sentence. At first, this may feel harder than reading again. You may stop. You may forget a word. You may remember the beginning but lose the ending. That struggle does not automatically mean you failed. It shows you the part that needs more attention. Open the lesson, check what you missed, and try once more. This simple cycle is powerful. Learn, close, remember, check, and try again. For English learners, speaking from memory is especially useful because it trains more than knowledge. It trains sentence building. It teaches your mouth to find words without reading them. It also shows you which words you understand only when you see them. Try a small recall challenge after every learning session. Without looking, say, the 3 things I learned are, if speaking feels too difficult, write the points first, then say them aloud. Keep the challenge short so you will actually do it. 2 honest minutes of recall can tell you more than 20 comfortable minutes of looking at the same page. And please do not become angry when you forget. Forgetting is not proof that you cannot learn. It is information. It tells you where to return. A strong learner does not expect the mind to remember everything immediately. A strong learner gives the mind repeated chances to bring the idea back. So the next time a lesson feels easy, do not ask only, do I understand this while I am looking at it? Ask, can I explain any of it after I close it? Your memory becomes more dependable when you invite it to work. Lesson 4. Explain the idea in your own English. Copying a beautiful sentence can make your notes look excellent, but it does not always show that you understood the idea. Real understanding begins when you can take the meaning out of someone else's words and place it inside your own words. After learning something, imagine that you are explaining it to a friend who was not there. Your friend does not need a complicated lecture. Your friend needs a clear meaning, a reason, and an example. Use 3 questions. What does this idea mean? Why does it matter? Where can I see it in real life? Suppose you learn the word discipline. You may read a formal definition, but then make it personal. You can say, discipline means doing a useful action even when I do not feel ready. For example, I practice English for 10 minutes even when I want to keep scrolling. Now the word is connected to meaning and action. Suppose you learn that clear communication requires listening. Explain it simply. If I only wait for my turn to speak, I may hear the words but miss the person's real point. Your English does not need to be perfect during this practice. In fact, simple English is useful because it forces you to find the heart of the idea. If you need 5 complicated sentences to explain one small lesson, perhaps the lesson is not clear in your mind yet. Try again with easier words. Record yourself for 1 minute. Listen to the recording and notice where your explanation becomes weak. Maybe you understand the first part but cannot give an example. Maybe you know the idea but do not have the English vocabulary. Excellent. Now you know exactly what to learn next. You can also explain the lesson to an empty chair, to your mirror, or to your phone. The phone will not interrupt you, which is already better than some conversations. But speak as if a real person is listening. Do not simply repeat the teacher's order of sentences. Change the order. Add your own situation. Compare the new idea with something you already understand. This makes learning active. It also builds speaking confidence without the pressure of a public conversation. Every time you explain a lesson, you are practicing knowledge, vocabulary, grammar, and clear thinking together. So after you learn, do not leave the idea sitting quietly in your notes. Give it your voice. If you can explain an idea in clear, simple English, there is a good chance that the idea is beginning to belong to you. Lesson 5. Connect new knowledge to your real life. An idea that stays alone is easy to lose. An idea that connects with your memories and experiences has more places to stay. When you learn something new, do not ask only, "What does this mean?" Also ask, "Where have I seen this in my own life?" If you learn the word hesitate, remember a real moment when you wanted to speak but waited because you were nervous. Then create a sentence. I hesitated before answering because I was afraid of making a mistake. Now, the word is not only a definition, it has a picture, a feeling, and a personal event. If you learn about time management, connect the lesson to yesterday. Where did your time go? What could you change tomorrow? These details turn a general idea into useful understanding. You can also compare a new lesson with something you already know. Attention, for example, is a little like a flashlight. It can make one area bright, but if you move it every second, you do not see any area clearly. Your comparison does not need to be clever. It only needs to help you understand. For English practice, connect an important word with its meaning, a personal example, a related idea, in one spoken sentence. Do not do this for every word. Your notebook may become heavier than your motivation. Choose the words that are useful for your life. When knowledge connects with something real, you remember it more naturally and use it more confidently. You stop repeating empty information and begin sharing ideas that have touched your own experience. So let each useful lesson meet your real life. Knowledge becomes stronger when it has a reason to stay. Lesson 6. Look for useful feedback, not simple praise. Praise can feel warm. When someone says, "Your English is amazing," you may feel confident for a few minutes. Confidence is good, but general praise does not always show you the next step. Useful feedback is clear. It points to one action, one sentence, one sound, or one part of your explanation. Instead of asking, "Is my English good?" ask a smaller question. Which sentence was difficult to understand? Did I use this word correctly? Was my ending clear? Which sound should I practice? A specific question makes a specific answer more likely. You can receive feedback in many ways. Record your voice and listen with attention. Compare one sentence with the original audio. Read a transcript and notice the word you missed. Ask a teacher or a fluent speaker to correct one short paragraph. If you use a learning tool, give it a clear task instead of asking it to repair your whole English life in one click. Too much feedback at one time can become confusing. You see 10 corrections, feel terrible, and remember none of them. Choose one focus. Maybe this week you are working on clear past tense sentences. Maybe you are practicing one pronunciation sound. Maybe you are trying to stop translating every sentence word by word. When someone corrects you, separate the task from your identity. A wrong sentence does not mean you are a bad learner. It means this sentence needs work. That is all. Sometimes feedback will also be unhelpful. A friend may say, "Very nice" to every recording because they love you. And that is sweet, but they may not be your pronunciation coach. Another person may criticize everything without explaining how to improve. Do not accept every opinion as truth. Look for feedback that is respectful, clear, and connected to the task. Then use it quickly. Correct the sentence and say it again. Rewrite the unclear line. Repeat the sound. Make the feedback become action before it disappears into your notes. You also need to notice what is working. If your speaking has become clearer, keep the method that helped. Feedback is not only a list of problems, it is information about your current position. It shows what to continue and what to change. A learner who avoids all correction may protect their feelings today, but repeat the same difficulty tomorrow. A learner who accepts useful correction can turn a weak point into a clear next step. Lesson 7. Build one small project with what you learn. Lessons give you pieces, but a project asks you to put the pieces together. Many people watch tutorials, save useful posts, and create long lists of things they plan to do later. Later becomes next week, next month, and sometimes a mysterious place that nobody has visited. A small finished project brings learning into the real world. It does not need to be impressive. It only needs to require you to use what you know. If you are learning English, record a 1-minute audio about your morning. Create a short presentation about a topic you enjoy. Write a simple guide for another learner. Listen to a podcast and make a spoken summary. Use 10 new words inside one short story. Interview yourself by asking and answering 5 questions. These projects are small, but they reveal important things. You may discover that you understand a topic but cannot organize your explanation. You may know many words but struggle to connect them. You may speak clearly for 30 seconds and then lose direction. This is not bad news. A project is showing you the space between what you have studied and what you can currently do. Now you can work on that space. Keep the project small enough to finish. Do not decide to write a 50-page book because you learned 12 new words. Write one useful page. Do not plan a 1-hour speech if you have never recorded 2 minutes. Begin with 60 seconds. Finishing gives you proof of progress, and proof is often more motivating than a vague feeling. Save your early projects. After 1 month, record the same topic again. Compare your vocabulary, clarity, pronunciation, and confidence. You may notice growth that daily practice made difficult to see. Projects also make education more interesting because they give your learning a purpose. You are not studying a phrase only because it appears in a list. You need the phrase to express an idea. You are not learning structure only for an exam. You need structure so another person can follow your message. This changes your relationship with learning. You stop waiting until you know everything, because nobody ever reaches that day. You begin creating with what you know now, then improving through each attempt. A small project may look simple from the outside, but inside it contains memory, choice, practice, and courage. Make something small. Finish it. Learn from it. Then make the next thing a little better. Lesson 8. Return to old lessons and mix your practice. Learning something once can create a beginning, but one meeting is often not enough for a strong memory. You may understand a word today and forget it next week. You may speak a sentence correctly in one lesson and struggle to use it in a different conversation. This is normal. Your mind needs to meet useful knowledge again, but not always in the same way. After learning something today, return to it tomorrow without immediately looking at the answer. Try again after a few days. Then use it in a new situation later in the week. You do not need a complicated schedule with 12 colors and 17 alarms. A simple pattern can work. Learn, return, use, and return again. Suppose you learn the word hesitate. On the first day, understand the meaning and make a personal sentence. On the next day, recall the word without looking. A few days later, use it while telling a short story. At the end of the week, listen for it in a podcast or use it in a new conversation. Each return asks your mind to rebuild the connection. Also mix the forms of practice. Do not keep all listening on one side, all speaking on another side, and all writing somewhere far away. Take one useful topic and meet it through several skills. Listen to a short explanation. Speak about it from memory. Write 3 sentences. Read a related paragraph. Answer one question. Mixing these activities helps you use English more flexibly. It prepares you for real communication, where nobody says, "Do not worry, this conversation will only use the vocabulary from Lesson 4." Real life mixes topics, sounds, memories, and quick decisions. Your practice can slowly prepare you for that. Still, do not mix so many things that the session becomes random again. Keep one main topic and change the way you work with it. The purpose is not confusion. The purpose is to see whether the knowledge can move. When you return after a gap, you may notice that you forgot part of the lesson. Do not feel ashamed. Look at the missing part, practice it, and return later. Learning that lasts is rarely created by one perfect meeting. It grows through several honest meetings over time. So before searching for a new lesson, sometimes visit an old one. The old lesson may still have more to teach you. Lesson 9. Create a learning routine that survives busy days. A plan is not truly strong if it works only when you feel energetic, peaceful, and completely free. Those days are wonderful, but normal life also includes work, family, tiredness, noise, and unexpected problems. If your learning routine needs perfect conditions, it will often wait. Build a routine for real life. First, connect your learning to a regular part of your day. You may study after your morning tea, during your travel time, after dinner, or before you go to bed. The exact time is less important than having a clear signal. When that moment arrives, you know what to do. Second, create 2 versions of your routine. Your normal version may take 20 minutes. Choose one small topic, learn it, close the source, recall the main points, and use them in English. Your busy day version may take only 5 minutes. Recall one idea, speak 3 sentences, review one useful word, and decide what you will continue tomorrow. 5 minutes will not complete a large goal, but it keeps the door open. It protects the identity of being a person who learns. Many learners make one difficult day larger than it needs to be. They miss a session and say, "My routine is broken. I will start again next Monday." But Monday has done nothing wrong, and it does not need to carry every new beginning. Return at the next possible moment. One missed day is a small event. Giving up for 3 weeks is a decision. Keep your learning materials easy to reach. Save one clear playlist. Keep one notebook in the same place. Decide your next task before the current session ends. This removes small choices that can become excuses. Motivation is helpful, but motivation sometimes sleeps late. Your routine should still know what to do. At the end of each session, use a simple cycle. Choose, learn, remember, explain, use, and prepare the next step. Some days your English will feel smooth. Other days, even a familiar word may hide from you. Continue anyway. Daily learning is not daily perfection. It is a repeated return to growth. When your routine can survive a busy day, a weak mood, and a small mistake, it becomes dependable. And a dependable routine can carry you much further than a powerful beginning that disappears after 1 week. Educate yourself every day, not because you must know everything, but because you want to keep growing in a changing world. A strong learner is not the person who has an answer for every question. A strong learner knows how to find an answer, examine it, remember it, explain it, and use it wisely. Give your learning a clear direction. Divide large subjects into small parts. Close the lesson and test your memory. Explain ideas in your own English. Connect knowledge with your real life. Look for clear feedback. Build something small. Return to useful lessons and create a routine that works even when the day is not perfect. When you follow these habits, English becomes more than a school subject. It becomes the language through which you explore ideas, develop skills, and express the person you are becoming. Do not wait until your vocabulary is complete. It will never feel complete. Do not wait until you have no fear. Begin while some fear is still there. Learn one useful thing and give it a place in your words and actions. Then come back tomorrow and do it again. Your progress may feel quiet, but quiet progress is still progress. If this lesson helped you, subscribe to English Ascent Daily and continue learning with us. Keep improving your English. Keep building your mind. Keep moving toward a future in which you can learn for yourself. Because when learning becomes part of your day, growth begins to become part of your life. The end.